In 2020, I learned that you could become an online entrepreneur. And since then, I've been on this journey to make it in the online world. I've had some successes on platforms like Medium, Twitter, and even on YouTube, and gained a little bit of following. And I've also sold some digital products like how to create your niche design. And I've made a couple of hundreds of dollars with that. And I've also done freelance writing for people like Matt Davella and Nicholas Cole. You might have heard of them or not. And that's how I made my first 10K online. Of course, on the outside, these results look amazing. I mean, now looking back, I feel really impressed with myself about how I was able to do any of those things with half the confidence that I have right now and also half the knowledge that I have right now. But fast forward to 3 years later, I'm still nowhere I want to be. I still feel like the successes that I have are nothing compared to what I really want to achieve in life. And of course, I'm very, very grateful for the things that I have experienced, but on this channel, we are here for our dreams. We don't give up on our dreams, even though we're not successful yet. So in today's video, I would like to talk about the things that I have learned in following your dreams, and I hope that it gives you comfort if you are also following your own dreams. Number one, it always takes longer than you think, so there's no point in rushing it. So we're now in 2024, and as I've said, I'm nowhere where I want to be. And because of this, I have realized that there is no point in rushing it. 3 weeks ago, I kind of caught myself thinking that, hey, Jerine, you have been at this thing for 3 years now. You should be somewhere by now. And I'm thankful that I caught that thought because, first of all, this is not how I want to speak to myself. We're all about self-love, self-respect on this channel. And you wouldn't talk to someone like that you love and respect, right? Or someone who is following their dreams. So that's one thing. And second, who cares if I've been at this for 3 years? Who is deciding how long this will take me, and who set the time frame when it comes to achieving your dreams? There's literally no one. It's all an arbitrary rule. And on top of this, I was listening to Ali Abdal's podcast episode a few weeks ago, and he was talking about how he was at a networking event with millionaires, basically very successful business people or entrepreneurs, and somebody came up to him and asked him about his take or how to grow on LinkedIn. And this person asked him or told him that, hey, I really want to grow on LinkedIn and can you help me? But mind you, I've only been at this for 2 years or 1 year, I can't remember. That was interesting because when most people think about going for their dreams, they expect fast result, a year or 2 years. And this person who's super successful literally goes to Ali and say, hey, I want to grow on this thing, but I've been posting every single day for 1 year or 2 years, so I'm only a beginner. And to me, that was kind of interesting because I realized that true entrepreneurs know that this is a long-term game, and the online game is a long-term game. So it doesn't really matter that it is taking 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You almost have to look at this in a 10-year plan if it is truly what you want, because yes, there will be some people who will achieve success in their first year, second year, third year, but what if that's not you? And what if you need to learn so many things in order to achieve or in order to actually get to the dreams that you want? Maybe it's just taking longer for you, and that's okay. Anyways, as you might have known, I've been at YouTube for about 2 years now, only consistently doing so in the past 3 months. So I don't even know if I would count the last 2 years as part of my YouTube journey. But really, I've only been learning about branding, making my thumbnails prettier or consistent. I'm still struggling with lighting. As you have probably noticed, my lightings are different in each video because I can't seem to figure it out. Maybe I haven't really given myself the capacity to learn that. So how can I expect myself to be successful at this whole thing, knowing that there's so much more space and time to actually learn the things that I need to learn? I have to give myself the grace, and you have to give yourself the grace to learn all of these things that you need to learn in order to get to your dreams. But after that realization, that's really where I kind of learned how to calm myself down and really shift my focus into why am I not there yet to how can I love this process? How can I love this system that I'm creating? How can I show up online talking about the things that I actually love and attract the right people? So that is really the lesson when it comes to following your dreams. Second, things that inspire you are subtle messages from the universe. So that feeling of inspiration, that feeling of I must act on this thought right now. I feel happy and excited and I must just do it right now. So you have got to learn how to trust and capitalize on that feeling, because that feeling is going to take you to places. Every inspiration that you get or idea that you get is kind of the universe telling you that, hey, this needs to get out there and I'm choosing you to get it out there. There is this book, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and if you don't know who she is the author of the best-selling book Eat, Pray, Love. And I really love this book because this book really helps you with creativity, or the mindset side of creativity. Basically, the idea is that she says that every idea out there has its own entity or has its own mindset. And because we live in a world where it's full of creations, everything is created around us. So we have this innate ability and innate desire to create. That's just how the world works, right? Like, we're all creatives. And Elizabeth talks about this idea that has its own mind. And that means that these ideas want to be created. So they are choosing humans, us, you and I, to kind of make these ideas come alive. So when an idea comes to a person, it is almost like their duty to make this idea into fruition. Because if that idea feels rejected or does not feel honored by the person who's receiving it, then it's going to feel rejected and it's going to move on to someone else. And this is why sometimes when you have ideas and you don't act on them, and then a day later or a few days later or a few weeks later, you see someone else doing that exact same idea that you originally had. And this is for that reason. It's because you didn't act on that idea, and that idea needed to get made anyway. So it's just like gonna move on if you don't act on it. Anyways, you might feel upset when this happens, when it comes to creating ideas or not acting on ideas, but you can't really be upset because these ideas want to flourish and they chose you, but you didn't choose them. So either way, these ideas are going to get made, and it's up to you whether you want to execute on them or not. So the lesson here is to really act on those ideas that make you feel inspired, because they want to be created. They want to be out here in the world, alive. The other byproduct of this new belief or this new mindset when it comes to ideas having their own identity is really me being able to detach from the results that come from those ideas. So for example, I make a video and the video doesn't get the views that I like, or it doesn't go well. I can kind of detach myself because I'm not taking the idea too personally, where it's like, hey, this came to me as, coming from the universe. I made it happen and it didn't receive well. It's like, oh, this idea didn't come from me. Well, the universe gave me a not so good idea. Let's move on. And on the flip side, when ideas come to me and they are received well by other people, I can kind of also humble myself because, well, thanks universe for giving me this idea. It's almost like I'm detaching myself, my persona, to these ideas, because then I can live a calm life, because now my thoughts and feelings aren't attached to the things that I'm doing or the results that I'm having. Because if I'm only happy when I have really high views, that's going to be a disaster when I don't have any views, because then I would feel really sad and really lonely and depressed and whatsoever. So I would rather have this mindset that these ideas are kind of on its own and it's just my job to kind of put it out there, but I'm not responsible for the results that they are getting, if that makes sense. Anyways, basically, don't take yourself too much seriously, which is what I struggle with a lot. Third, things that make you feel jealous are a scream from the universe. So you know that feeling of jealousy that you absolutely hate? It is actually not a bad thing. Whenever you feel jealous of others, of what you see online, this is because there is something within you that you need to see and that you actually have not addressed yet. So think about it. Have you ever felt jealous of people who have what you don't want? So for example, if you're a nurse, have you ever felt jealous of doctors or dentists or all of these other professions? You have probably felt jealous of the money they earn, but maybe not their job title, because you have somewhat an idea of what that job entails. So you won't get jealous of something that you don't want. In this sense, feeling jealous is kind of a signal from your body or the universe that something in you needs to be healed or something needs to be taken care of. And that's exactly kind of what has happened to me when it comes to content creation. I always felt jealous of YouTubers and content creators because I always thought that they had cooler life than me, or that they were more special than me, or they're better than me, and all these thoughts. But then when I learned this concept about jealousy, I realized that I feel jealous because there is something in me that I want to create or put out there, and these people seem to have figured out how to do that, and now I want to be able to do that as well. So now that I'm creating consistently with YouTube and trying to figure out this online world, I don't feel as jealous anymore about these people. Now I feel at peace or calm. I can look at other creators and be like, oh, that's cool. Like, we're doing the same thing. Because again, I have become the person that I was jealous of. And for the longest time, I have ignored this feeling of jealousy, or I kind of pushed it to the side and thought that, oh, you're being negative again, don't do that. But in reality, it was more so kind of a deeper level, which is kind of really look inward and see why you're getting triggered by the things that you are seeing or hearing, whatever. And what you have to do is really look inward and listen to your subconscious, because it's essentially telling you that, hey, you need to follow this path. And also now when I get jealous, I try to be really specific about the thing that I'm jealous of. Is it their lifestyle? Is it their appearance? What is it in me that I feel like I need to work on because I'm seeing it in someone else? Because whatever you see in someone else's is already in you. So if you are feeling jealous of someone, I want you to embrace it, to validate the feeling, and to actually thank that person, because now you can kind of see what they have that you need to work on for yourself, and that's a good thing. And this is so important when it comes to following your dreams, because when you are on this path of greatness or path of following your dreams, you are bound to meet people who are better than you or who are higher level than you, whatever that means, and or what you feel, or you perceive them to be better than you or higher than you, and that's going to come up again and again, the jealousy. So you need to be really good with this feeling of like, hey, this jealousy is telling me something, I need to listen to it. What can I do today? What can I do in order to kind of make this feeling satisfied? Because the goal is not to make the jealousy disappear. The goal is to address it so that you can keep going and following your dreams. The fourth lesson when it comes to following your dreams is that strategies will only take you so far. You've probably heard of the quote where they say, business is 90% mindset, 10% strategy. And I've never really understood that before, but now I do. I truly understand that. And this is because you can have the most amazing strategy on the internet or in whatever endeavor that you're about to take on or you're doing, but if your mindset is not there, if you don't have your own back, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't know who you are as a person, if everything that you're doing is not aligned to who you are, you will give up. And I say this from experience. These days, I care more about my mindset than what I'm saying or that what I'm doing. It's more so, how am I showing up energetically in the videos, in the content creation process? Before I write my scripts or I film my videos, I have to make sure that my mindset or my mental health is taken care of through journaling, yoga, or whatever it is that you need to do to make yourself feel better, because I need to feel good about myself before I can show up to make others feel good. Before, I used to show up with a lot less confidence and I had so much self-doubt. I still have some self-doubt and I still have fears, but I feel like I show up differently and I show up with so much more confidence at this point. Sometimes I don't even care what I'm doing or what I'm saying, but it's more so that I know that the stuff I'm saying makes sense to me and it makes me feel good, and I really hope that it makes others feel good. If not, oh well, but I do hope that it makes you feel good. So if you're going to follow your big dreams or embark on this journey, make sure that your mental health is taken care of. It needs to be the foundation of the things that you're doing. Physical health and mental health should be your number one priority, because without those, you can't really build anything. They're kind of like cement or the bricks of your whole dream, if we were comparing this to an analogy of a house. The fifth lesson that I have learned is that this whole thing will only work if you believe that it will. You have probably heard of the quote where they say that, if you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. I think this has been the biggest mindset shift that I've had the past year. This idea. When I embarked on this YouTube journey about 2 years ago, I had the hopes of making it work, but only in the last 3 months where I really believe that, okay, this will work. And I hope it will work is just such a different than like, I know this will work. So I shifted to this whole energy of like, I know this is gonna work, instead of the I hope this will work. And I think having that former energy of I hope this would work is the reason that I'm not growing or I'm not successful at this thing that I'm doing, is because I just don't have faith or didn't have as much faith in myself. Even though I was doing the right action, the right steps, I'm doing stuff, right? I just didn't genuinely believe that it was gonna work. And it's so hard to show up when you have that, your mind is believing that you can't or thinking that you can, and then your body's telling you, yes, you can, or you're doing all the action. It's just not aligning. So the result of that is that either half success, which is what I was having. It's like I've had some success, but not the success that I want because I was lacking that faith in me. So here's my tip for you. Your mind needs to be so clear on the vision that you have that you need to learn how to believe this if you don't already believe it. I don't care what kind of technique, manifestation or not that you have to do. Journal about it, meditate on it, reflect on it, do visual boarding or positive affirmations, all of these techniques that kind of help you to get there in order to believe in yourself. But it's so crucial to learn how to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, even though you're doing all the right steps, you're not going to make it. It won't work. Every step you make, you'll doubt yourself. You'll doubt the smallest details. You'll act from feeling fear or scarcity, and it's just not a great feeling. And I say all of these from experiences. So I really, really want you to be able to say that this will work. I believe in myself and I know I can do this. So if you have to pause on your dreams and actually take a break and actually work on your self-worth, your self-confidence, do that. I think it's going to be faster to get to the results that you want than doing things halfway where you don't really believe in yourself, but then you're still taking actions and you're going to keep sabotaging yourself. You're going to keep doing this thing where you take action, then not take action. Anyways, it's kind of a vicious cycle and I don't want that for you. So if you do need to take a break, do that. If you're watching this, I know that you are an ambitious person, which is why I have so much faith in you. You have gotten this far in your life with half the knowledge that you have before this video and half the faith in yourself before this video, hopefully. And I know that you can achieve big things. I really hope that this video resonated with you, and let me know down in the comments below if there was a new insight that you got from this video. And I hope that you take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.